What's up, fellas? Welcome back, Game of Pros. We're going to get right into picks 11 through 20. We've spent another segment going through 1 through 10, which was a lot of fun. We had a lot of differences, which is great. And for anyone out there, all those so-called experts and whatnot, telling all of us podcasters to stop pretending we know how to watch film and stuff, screw you. We're not going to stop. We're having a lot of fun. So, having said that, let's get started with the 11th pick, New York Giants. We watched and lost to them twice last year by the slimmest of margins. Very strong defense, questionable offensive talent, but they went out and got Kenny Galladay. Mike, you have them beefing up their offensive line, as actually both of you. Tell me why.
Yeah, so I had them taking Rashawn Slater at 11 overall. When you look at the Giants, like you said, that defense was pretty impressive, especially for the second half of last year. They were mocked at a few other places to take a receiver, but you look at their receiving core right now. They've got Kenny Galladay, they have Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard. They just signed John Ross. They have Evan Ingram, who's one of the better pass catching tight ends in the league. And assuming that Saquon is healthy, he's also a receiving threat. What they don't have is a great line. Probably their most reliable tackle right now, I would say, is Nate Solder. Nate Solder opted out last season, and he was not great in 2019. So I think that they're in a little bit of trouble offensive tackle-wise. That's definitely a spot where they can improve and get Daniel Jones the protection that he's going to need. So I think if I'm the Giants GM, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking Slater.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad that you mentioned that they did beat us 2 times last year, because that's kind of the reason why I picked Slater to go to the Giants. 2019, he went up against Chase Young and held, did his thing. He, held his own. And why not keep it going? Division. We're in the same division as they are, or Washington and Giants are in the same division. So why not keep that little rivalry going? And like Mike said, Daniel Jones has a little bit of a fumbling issue. He can use all the protection he can get, man. I really like this guy. He's really big, fast, versatile. He could play anywhere on the line, really. I'm a big fan of Slater. I think they'd be foolish to not go with Slater at the 11th.
I saw those highlights too with Slater going up against Chase Young. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And they're probably, maybe they'll face each other for the next 10 years.
Right.
That'd be cool. I went with Smith. Going back to, I had Devonta Smith slipping to the Giants in the 11th. And I think they become a very, very scary receiving group. Sterling Shepard has some injury woes. It seems every year he stubs his toes, all of them, one after another. And Slayton, Darius Slayton's still only 24 years old. I think he's there for the long run. Kenny Galladay's there, but I think this is a kind of prove it year for Shepard. And I think Devonta Smith, along with Ingram and Saquon Barkley, it becomes a very scary offense if Daniel Jones can put it all together. He's got one of the best deep balls. People don't know he's very accurate down the field. So I'm hoping the Washington Red Wolves, or whatever they're going to be called, can go up toe-to-toe against them.
I think we're going to be the other Demon Cats. Was it the Demon Cats is what it was?
Warthogs.
Yeah, I saw that too. Wild Hogs or something.
Straight to the our other division foe, the Eagles. Eagles have a history with some very tough draft picks in recent history. Germs, what are they doing with the 12th pick overall? They traded down, they traded back, which I think was smart because they have a lot of holes in that team, I think. What do you have them doing?
Yeah, they did trade back a little bit. It was kind of, it was one of the things that I had in mind with, trying to predict this one. The Eagles haven't had a star receiver in a long time. And why not go with the Heisman winner? Devonta Smith is he's a little small, but he's a monster and he has a chip on his shoulder. A lot of people did compare him to D-Jags. So, why not put him in there with in the Eagles? What else? With the whole, them getting, pushing back, I guess, their pick. You're still getting, my first receiver is Chase, was Chase, but, Smith is up there too, and it's, you're still getting, you're still possibly getting the best receiver, we don't know yet.
Yeah. That's why I think it was smart that they went, they traded a few picks back and built up their assets a little bit.
Yeah.
Mike, you have another Alabama receiver going to the Eagles?
I do. I had Jalen Waddle. I agree. I think that I said it in the last time that we were recording. It's tough for me between Waddle and Smith. I like both of their games. I think Smith is a little more proven, but Waddle, the skill set on Waddle and the promise, I guess, the ceiling is really enticing. So if I'm the Eagles, I'm taking Waddle. You look at the rest of their receiving core, and it's really just not there. They do have the great JJ Arcega-Whiteside, but outside of that, it's a little thin. You got Jalen Reagor, Travis Fulgham, Greg Ward. Jalen Reagor really disappointed last year, but it's also about who's throwing to him. So
right.
We'll see how it goes. They have a lot of holes to fill on defense as well. But to me, I think the Eagles are a multi-year project. That's why I like that they traded back. They're building up assets. They got a first for next year. They're gonna have to start from the bottom.
Well, it's because you mentioned Reagor and Whiteside. Those are kind of infamous, draft picks in the last 2 years. Whiteside was the second rounder, but when you looked at the receivers that went right after him, it's like, what? Who's Roseman over there? It's not. What is he doing? But they could go offensive line. I think they have some good names up on that front, but they've been crippled with injuries the last couple of years. So I think they could beef up the offensive line. I'm gonna go ahead and put J.C. Horn there as kind of best player available. I know you talked about Horn being potentially the best corner coming out of South Carolina, but I think they need somebody to defend, in this division that can be won with 7-8 wins. I think he's kind of best player available right there. If Smith does fall, I can see it. If Waddle falls, he sees it. In my scenario, both those guys are gone.
I like that pick because you got to think about it. The receivers in the NFC East is Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Scary Terry, Samuels, and then now you got Galladay. All those guys. We just mentioned. So I mean, that's a smart pick. That's a good pick. I like that.
Thanks, man. Well, so you look
Hopefully
at
he gets to practice with the great JJ Arcega-Whiteside. So that'll hone his game even more.
So they have a lot of young corners. Other than Darius Slay, there isn't really a big name in that secondary. They have some
even Darius Slay, I think, kind of disappointed last year. There were really high hopes for him coming to the Eagles last year, and he did not deliver. The Eagles are a mess on defense.
I mean, he's entering his age 31 season. There's a potential out after this year. I think Darius Slay is gone after this year, and so I think that's why I went with Horn, or at least that's what I'm going to say now. Chargers, pick number 13. What do you got, Mike?
Boom, got you right here. I watched a lot of Chargers games. Unfortunately, we don't have a team out here in San Diego. It'd be cool if we did, but we don't. They also do, though. They play a fair amount of Chargers games out here, so I was able to watch them. And that offensive line is a joke. Mike Pouncey was kind of held down the fort for a long time, 10-year vet, probably the best to ever do it for the Chargers. But they need help more now more than ever. Justin Herbert, as mobile and as shifty as he can be, he needs time to develop plays. Sometimes, you can't dump it off to Eckler on every single play. Mike Williams needs time to get open. Keenan Allen can't get open. Justin Herbert gets rid of it pretty quick, but it's mainly because he has to. They definitely need some help on the offensive line. All they have right now, I think, is Balaga and Trey Pipkins tackle. So I had them taking Christian Darrisaw tackle out of Virginia Tech. I think that's gonna do wonders for them. Because you look at the Chargers and really, I mean, I think if they're able to fix their issues at offensive line and at corner, then the Chargers are scary. That offense with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, obviously Justin Herbert, Joshua Kelly could turn into something. They just signed Jared Cook. I know that he's in his mid-50s, but he probably still has a few more games left in him. So I think that the Chargers could really do something good here. But I think it's going to start with that offensive line.
I looked at linebacker for them, or I looked at a lot of defensive holes that it seems that they've got a lot of good names, but they didn't do it last year. I really hope Derwin James can put a whole season together. I think that would be very beneficial to that defense. Bosa as well. I mean, he's just missed some time before, but I went left tackle as well, but for whatever reason, I'm going Slater there to the Chargers. You have Darrisaw. I have Darrisaw actually going very next pick, so it could be Darrisaw, could be Slater, but I as well. I looked at Brian Balaga. He was entering his age 33 season, so I have a tackle going there as well. Germs, who you got going to Los Angeles Chargers?
I really like your picks. I think that's a big necessity for them. Unfortunately, both those guys are taken on my list. So I went with Zaven Collins, which is another I guess I'll ask you, Mike, can you name any of the Chargers linebackers? Because I can't.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, Germs.
Right.
I would have sent you.
So I'm going Zaven Collins. I think this guy is gonna.
I could have said Joey Bosa is the outside linebacker. Does that count? Do I still get my prize?
Yeah, man. I think Zaven Collins is. I think he's gonna be a gem, man. I think he's freaking huge, like 315 pounds, and just fast. He's just explosive. He's a playmaker. I low key got a man crush on the guy, man. He's amazing. I watched his highlights, and dude, he's a dog. And I think to me, he's the best player available in that position, in that spot, 13th pick. One thing that I did dig up on him, he was in high school. He was a former. He's a quarterback, played quarterback and safety, so he definitely understands the game. He's a smart guy. He had a 4.0 GPA in high school. He was valedictorian. So, he puts in the work, So I think he's going to be a gem. And I think Chargers could steal the show with him, man. They stole the show with Herbert last year. I think they could steal the draft with Zaven Collins this year.
That's a good pick. I like that.
I like that a lot. Vikings at number 14. This was a hard one because this is a team that, they got Justin Jefferson last year, right? And they've got Thielen. They lost Kyle Rudolph, but they've got, Smith at tight end. It seems offensively they're okay, right? Dalvin Cook is an absolute beast. Defensively, that team was atrocious for at least the first 2/3 of the year. Mike, are they getting somebody on defense in their first round?
I did. I had him taking Kwity Paye, the edge rusher out of Michigan. Like you said, everyone needs a tackle. Just about everyone in the league outside of maybe the the Cardinals or something needs a tackle. But Kwity Paye looks like he could do damage for the Vikings at that position. I think right now the only edge rusher they have, I think it's Brian O'Neill. Not really an impressive group. Really the only one to even grade on the PFF scale last year, Brian O'Neill. They have one of the, they could also use, I think, some help at well, they could use help at safety, I guess. They just signed Xavier Woods to bring some veteran presence into the safety room, but they still have Harrison Smith. I don't see them going safety, even though I think they could get a major upgrade over Xavier Woods. They just have a lot of money wrapped up in that position, so I don't see that happening. What they do desperately need is edge help, even though it's not as valuable as it once was. I still think that they could upgrade there, and Kwity Paye. Even though this year's edge rushing class isn't as flashy as it typically is, you don't see any Chase Youngs or Myles Garrett's in there this year, but it's deep, and Kwity Paye I think would do a good job for them. So I have them taking Kwity Paye at 14.
I got him too. I got them getting Paye too. I really like this guy. He's combination of speed, size, and strength. Ran a 5.4, 40, benched 36 reps. Looking at his film, man, he's explosive. His timing is freaking money. And yeah, it's a big position for them. They like you said last year, they didn't do much. They didn't pressure many quarterbacks, so that would be a big help for them. And one thing I do want to mention for the Vikings is that their next pick is 79th, and then after that is 91st. So this first pick is crucial for them. That's it.
I actually did not know that. That's tough. They might even trade back.
Why don't they have a second round pick?
I'm not sure, but I just looked at quickly.
They sent their. Did they send? I thought they sent the Jags something for Ngakoue last year.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
That
right.
sound right.
I wasn't completely sure.
Yeah, it was Yannick Ngakoue.
Mm-hmm.
This was another tough one for me, but I decided to go with beefing up their biggest strength, which I think is their run game, and I have them getting Darisaw. But again, Slater, Darisaw, pick 13, 14 for me. I think it could go either way, but I absolutely love the edge rusher idea for them. Next up is pick number 15, Patriots. So I had them trading up to get Lance at the Lions pick number 7. So for me, this is the Lions number 15. I have them getting their middle linebacker of the future, a guy who's climbing up the boards fast with his tape and his range. He's compared a lot to Darius Leonard because he's got a crazy physique and a lot of speed and zone coverage skills. So Koromo is my pick to the Lions. They were able to just continue to build assets. Like I said last segment, they've got 2 first rounders for the next 3 years. I also have the Lions getting a defender in the 2nd round as well. I just think it's Dan Campbell's going to really beef up this defense and restore some pride in Detroit. What do you guys have, Germs, with the 15th pick? Patriots, what are they doing? They getting your boy Mac Jones?
They're getting my boy Mac Jones.
Everybody says they're getting Mac Jones for the last 3 months.
Yeah. It's hard not to go with him, man. It's hard. Look, it's hard to look past the stats, man. His stats are insane last year. And it kind of reminds you a little bit of a Brady, great accuracy, good touch. The reason why I picked this is, I feel like for Bill, it's the best thing that could happen for both of them, really. You're getting coached by Bill Belichick, and I mean, Bill gets, a a guy that could launch the ball. We'll see. But
Yeah.
I'm not too sold on his footwork and his mobility. But Tom Brady was the Patriots quarterback. Yeah, I'm going with Mac Jones.
There's no.
I had them taking Mac Jones too.
No.
I'm sorry, bro. It's not my choice. If it were up to me, Mac Jones would go undrafted, enter the XFL, and I would never have to hear his name ever again. But I just don't think that's going to happen. Odds of that are pretty low. So, Patriots do need a quarterback. That once again, Cam Newton signed for 1 year. We saw the Cam Newton experiment last year. I don't know if he was hurt or how hurt he was, but that shoulder just looks busted to me. He's a glorified running back at this point. They're going to have to do something for the future. I don't see Bill trading the farm away to move up too far. And if Mac Jones, who was the top rated quarterback just by the stats last year, falls into his lap at 15, I don't see him passing that up. So I think he's going to take Mac Jones because it just lines up well.
If Trey Lance is there, so I think I agree in the sense that they don't really have a lot of holes. They could use probably an offensive weapon, but to at 15 to get whoever's Rashard Bateman or Elijah Moore or Kadarius Toney, I think that would be a little bit of a reach. So they don't really have a lot of needs outside of like an offensive weapon. And for Belichick, like I have them getting Trey Lance, moving up to get Trey Lance. So in your eyes, if Lance is available at 15, say the 49ers are getting Mac Jones at number 3, which all three of us agree it's not going to happen. And here we are, pick number 15, and Lance and I don't know, both Fields and Lance are here at 15. They're taking a quarterback, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just went
100%.
around in circles on that.
Right. I'm still waiting for you to wrap it up, but no, yeah, of course. I mean, I think if Lance, well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say for sure if they're given the choice between Jones and Lance, even at 15, personally, I would go Lance every time. But there are factors with Lance. He's the level of competition, like we talked about. He's rough around the edges. He's going to have to learn behind someone for a year. Cam, even though they have a somewhat similar playing style, they're both big, strong, athletic dudes. I don't know if Cam's got the shoulder really to be the one that Lance is looking at. But
it's a tough division, man.
Yeah, it is a tough division. But I mean, yeah, playing in the Missouri Valley versus Jones, who's in Alabama, playing against SEC defenses, it's been a little more tested, even though Alabama's stacked. I think there's still a chance that they take Jones over Lance. But either way, I think Patriots are, if there's one of those top 5 quarterbacks available at 15, I think they're going quarterback for sure.
Pick number 16. So I think there's going to be a lot of action around that number 15. But Cardinals at 16. They went out and got AJ Green. They went out and got JJ Watt. Got a lot of veteran presence on that team now. What was the running back that they just added? Oh, James Conner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To go with Chase Edmonds. What are the Cards doing? If you're the GM, Mike, their biggest need.
If I'm the GM, I'm going interior defensive lineman with Christian Barmore. I had looked at I thought about maybe trading back. In one of the scenarios that I was thinking about, I had the Cardinals trading back to the Skins. But in that scenario, Christian Darrisaw was still available at 16. So I had the Skins trading up, the Washington Demon Cats trading up to 16 to get Darrisaw. But outside of that, even in this scenario right here, Darrisaw, Slater are all off the board. I have the Cards taking Barmore the defensive interior lineman out of Alabama. That's one of the they definitely need some help on defense. Their offensive line is stacked. I think they could still use a corner maybe two corners. But I think the most glaring need that they have right now is going to be interior defensive linemen. So I'm going Barmore.
Yeah. I went Barmore as well. They brought in Watt. They've got Chandler Jones. But yeah, no real big names on that interior defensive line. And at corner, I could see them going corner, but they brought in Malcolm Butler, Robert Alford, Buda Baker's there at defense, safety. Germs, what do you have them doing? 16.
I actually do have them going corner, man. That was kind of when I was looking at the Cardinals, I kind of just stuck it in my mind that they're gonna go corner. They lost Patrick Peterson, and it's just it's a big hole. And then on my list, the only corner I have taken as of right now is Caleb Farley to the Cowboys. So I mean, Surtain. I got Surtain going to the Cardinals. So I mean, Surtain is still arguably the best. So at 16, you're getting possibly the best corner. I think to me that one was kind of a the way I did my list, it kind of was like a no-brainer.
I can see that.
Yeah. And I do like him. He's
there.
Physical. He's he's physical. He's
tested.
Yeah. And he actually reminds me a lot of Patrick Peterson. Like, when I'm looking at the film, that's who I was, comparing him to.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that. I see that with Horn too, though.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe Horn more of like a Drake Kirkpatrick type, more so than Peterson, but I see a little bit of both.
Is Kirkpatrick still in Arizona? No,
No.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Still free agent, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Robert Alford and Malcolm Butler at this point.
Yeah,
Malcolm Butler had his glory days with New England, but he's really fallen off a cliff. Same Robert Alford. Robert Alford was probably he was with the Falcons. He was like the best thing that the Falcons had, but
great.
I definitely think that they could find an upgrade, and Surtain would be a major upgrade.
Yeah. So the Cards defense, the secondary is going to be going up against Matt Stafford now, Russell Wilson. And who am I missing? Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals,
Justin Fields,
49ers. Probably Justin Fields.
Or Mac Jones.
I mean, according to our picks, our mocks.
Yeah.
Maybe they traded up for Kwity Paye, and we're all just idiots. They're sticking with Nick Mullins under the helm.
Your brother would not be very happy. The other team in Northern California, number 17, Raiders. The Raiders.
You mean the team in Nevada?
Oh, man. It's true. Up there at T-Mobile Center. I'll be. Well, who cares? I have the Raiders.
I said San Diego
number
Chargers.
Number 1 overall pick next year.
Like yesterday. I still say
whatever they do is not going to help them.
Guaranteed. 100%. Although in my mock draft, I have Micah Parsons falling all the way down to the Raiders. And I think that might even be kind of early on him. I had seen a few things. Sorry, somebody's doing burnouts up and down my street. Micah Parsons, I had seen a few things about him sliding even farther than that. Even I think I had seen a couple tweets even falling into the second round. So I think Micah Parsons is a great fit with the Raiders, though. They're going to need the help. I initially had an offensive tackle going there, but it sounds like John Gruden has his own plans for offensive tackle. So I'm not going to touch that. They could definitely use some corner help and safety. Trayvon Mayrig, I think, would be a great fit there too. But with Parsons falling to 17, you just can't deny the physical ability. So I'm going Parsons to the Raiders.
I like the Trevor guy, the safety.
Yeah, Trevor Mayrig.
Yeah.
Did I say Trey?
Terms, that's who you have, right?
Yeah, that's my pick. That's who I think the Raiders are getting. I do like I do think Parsons does kind of fit like the Raider. I guess how do I want
That
to?
he has like character issues. He's a good fit
Yeah,
for the Raiders.
the whole like gritty.
Yeah,
But
man. It's their
I'm
brand.
going more. I'm going with the best safety in the draft. The Raiders. Let's see what I said. Raiders, they have a lot of potential in this draft. Actually, I was looking at their next picks. It's 48, 80, 81. Like they could do a lot. And if they start off by stealing the best safety in the draft, like that's this puts them off to a good start.
I like Maygrave to them a lot as well. I think that'd be a great fit.
And looking at his tape, man, he's a playmaker. He's awesome. Great instincts, tackler. He's good against the run. He's real disciplined. I like him a lot. Couldn't see much or about his pro day or his 40s and all that because he didn't. I think he had back problems, so his pro day exhibition was a little limited. But I really like that guy. Raiders going with safety.
Speaking of back problems, I have Caleb Farley slipping to number 17. So I also have them going secondary.
Smart. Yeah, they're going to need some help on defense for sure. I mean, they're also going to need. I think they're going to need receiver help.
Maybe they'll put Marcus Mariota to run some routes.
That'd be
All
a
right,
good
pick
use
number
for it.
18, Dolphins. This is their second pick of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all had either Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts to them. So what are they doing? Pick number 18.
Yeah, I had him taking Kyle Pitts in the first round, kind of shoring up that already pretty good looking receiving core. So now they've got Will Fuller, Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, Kyle Pitts. They have Lynn Bowden, kind of that gadget guy. So I think that they're going to need to focus on defense. They're another team that could also use. They could use a tackle, but everyone could use a tackle. They could also use an edge rusher, but I had them taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. I think he'd be a great fit for them there. They have so many picks that I think they can kind of take best player available instead of playing like the matching game for the most part, because I think they've got 10 plus picks, and that's if they don't trade down again. There's a good chance that this 18 pick could be another trade down. So we'll see. But I like Owusu-Koramoah. I had him going to the Demon Cats originally, but in this last one that I had, they're getting sniped a little bit. So he's going one pick before the Washington football team to the Dolphins.
I would like Washington with Koramoah. I think I'm going to name my next kid Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Badass name.
That's a badass name.
Demon Cat.
I have him
Lopez.
going best edge rusher of this class. I think this guy could end up being defensive rookie of the year. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia, going 18. James, what do you have him do?
I like that.
I got them getting Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman out of USC.
Yes.
He won the best lineman award last year. He played tackle last year, but mainly is used to playing guard. So, I feel like the Dolphins are in need of a tackle, but with the combination of strength and athleticism, I think that he can, he could find a place in that team and that line. I think Tua, use all the help he needs. The guy is strong. 36 bench reps. I mean, it's you can't take that away. But I think they're going offensive.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah,
Some O-line depth.
Always,
I do
always
think
a
all
premium
this
position.
linebacker stuff about
And
the Parsons thing, I think, is just a bunch of hoopla. I think everyone wants to act like they know, but Parsons was the bona fide best linebacker going into this class. And I don't think that changes, but we'll see.
And with, and their next pick after this is the 36. So they can still snatch like top 4 linebacker, top 5 linebacker. I don't know.
They could.
That was part of the reason that I didn't go tackle for the Dolphins.
Right. Okay, big works.
Just because you can get, I mean, maybe not, maybe Vera Tucker, I don't think would slide. But I think in the second round you could still get Samuel Cosme. There's a chance you could still get, Walker Little. You can get Liam Eichenberg. There's a ton of tackles that could do something for you in the second round. And I think even edge rushers, it's not, like I said, it's not a super flashy class for edge rushers, but it is pretty deep. I think that they might be able to find someone in the second round.
Well, so we're down to Washington and the Bears, 19-20. 19, I said in the last segment I had them going Rashard Bateman, but I'm kind of changing gears a little bit. I thought about it a little bit more, and a name that keeps popping up that I'm really happy to say is going to be the next middle linebacker of the Washington Red Wolves, whatever they are, Kitty Cats. Zaven Collins is going to DC at 19.
That'd be awesome. That would be.
I like Bateman, but I think maybe that's a little bit of a reach now after I thought about it a little bit. Who still has Bateman going 19? Mike?
I got Bateman going 19.
Jerms, who you got?
I got Jalen Waddle. Just because the way my list fell, he's, how can you not take him at 19?
If Jalen Waddle falls to 19, there is no chance
exactly.
they're not taking Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, it's just how my list ended up.
Right. I mean, a lot of the times it's just who falls, right? I mean,
right.
And we're definitely going to do another video where we really dive into the 19th pick. We'll spend some more time on that.
Yeah, we should.
Yep.
Because it's going to be real juicy. We've been talking about this and gearing up for this for a couple months now.
Oh yeah.
So let's knock out number 20 real quick, guys. Chicago Bears. They've got a star quarterback in Andy Dalton. What do they do?
I'm going cornerback. They have to replace Kyle Fuller. He was a free agent for what, like 20 minutes? That's a huge hole, man. You got to replace a guy like that.
Yeah, I felt the same. Who do you have them? I'm sorry, Germs. Who do you have them taking?
JC Horner.
JC Horn. Okay. In my draft, I had JC Horn going in the top 10, but that's probably a personal bias towards Horn. I like Horn's game, but I also really like Greg Newsome. I have Greg Newsome from Northwestern going to the Bears. I think they definitely need corner help. That is a glaring issue outside of QB. I think we had all kind of talked about, well, especially Dennis had talked about them trading up to get Jones, which I think is a possibility. Andy Dalton, I think he'll be serviceable there, but that's not really what they need. They also really need a receiver, but the receiver class this year is so deep that I think they can make it happen. I mean, they have Allen Robinson, but they're not going to be able to lean on Allen Robinson forever. Jimmy Graham, I think, surprised a little bit last year. I don't ever expect that to happen. Like, what did he score, like 5-6 touchdowns in like an 8-week span or something? So I don't see that happening again. Anthony Miller is clearly not the guy that a lot of us thought he was. So they need a lot of help. But I think corner for me after losing Kyle Fuller is going to be priority, especially if somebody like Greg Newsome is still on the board.
Yeah, I have them waiting to get that quarterback. I think Mac Jones falls to 20. I think just like the beginning of the year, man, where everyone had Mac Jones falling to late second round. I think all this crazy attention that he's gotten is all just, people like us getting together and trying to get clicks. So yeah, that wraps up our 11 through 20. Again, our next video will be really diving into what Washington will be doing with that 19th pick. Should be very interesting. We've all been waiting for this. Draft is 2 weeks away. So can't
Yeah,
wait,
just
fellas. Thanks for
not even.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and can't wait to do rounds 3 through 7 with you tomorrow. Nah, just kidding.
Nah,
Night,
we'll
man.
get this out. It was good seeing you guys.
Oh yeah, always. Take care.
Later, fellas.